Hi guys, PJ here. Today we are working on a Porsche Cayenne 2017, it's KNS, and we're installing a NextBase dashboard camera. Now the model of camera is a front and rear one, so it's an NextBase Duo. It's the HD version and will sit up just to the left hand side of the mirror here. We'll be wiring this into the vehicle's fuse box. Now obviously, as a word of warning, if you are going to DIY this and you have just paid £100,000 for your vehicle, be aware if anything gets damaged, obviously you're going to have to replace it. If you pay professionals to do it, they are fully insured to work on your vehicle. If you do like to dabble, fair enough, carry on and follow this video. I will just say that any damage or injury by following this video, I am in no way liable. Okay, so follow this video, hopefully it's a helpful guide to you. First thing you need to do is locate your fuse box. Your fuse box is located on the end of the dashboard, just behind this panel. We need to pop that panel off. I'll show you how. Getting started on the vehicle, you're going to need a few basic tools. You're going to need a plastic leverage tool like so, plastic scraper, or a bojo tool, which is available off Amazon, eBay, most car accessory shops. Do not use metal or scrapers or screwdrivers, you will damage the trim. You're going to need a multimeter. Hopefully you've got one in better condition than mine. If you haven't got a multimeter, you're going to need one of those screwdrivers with the little bulb in the end of them to see what is live in your fuse box. Obviously the camera itself there, and you're also going to need a NextBase wiring kit or equivalent. Okay, now these are universal. They come with the main power feed cable with mini USB there to plug into your camera, and on the end a plus and minus. Also come with two fuses, the larger fuse there and mini blade fuse. We won't be using a larger fuse on this vehicle, we can get rid of that one. It's mini blade, and also a filter to stop radio interference. Now these are very bad filters. If you don't use them on a DAB radio, you will get no DAB signal. So like I say, bad interference without them. Make sure you put that on. All you do with them is simply pop them open, they're on little catchers, and fold it round your wire. I'll show you that one in a minute. Now your fuse box itself, we'll just pan round. Get your little scraper, there's a little tab under here, a little cutout, yeah? Put your scraper underneath it there and lever it until it's open like so, all the way round. You can then carefully put your hand in it and juggle it loose. Now there's one at the bottom that always sticks on these cars. Probably going to need two hands. Like so. Move that safely out of the way, you're not going to need that. Pop that down there. And here's your fuse box. Now I'm sorry if you can hear snuffles and stuff. Our British weather here's got a bad case of the cold for me, so I apologise in advance. Okay, here's all your fuses. Now surprisingly on this 2017 model they've actually changed back to the larger fuses. I wasn't expecting that. 2015, 2016 is on mini blade. Now you're going to start to need testing these to see which one is ignition switched live. Right, now please be aware before looking at any guide online as to what fuse does what on the internet. These vehicles could all be wired differently depending on model and spec. Okay, so it is literally best to get yourself a multimeter, pop it on 12 volts there and test them. Okay, so I've already tested a few and we're going to go for, it's like an auxiliary rear heater fuse, this one. So there we go, we're touching the prong, the black prong on the multimeter is earthed out and we are showing 0 voltage. Okay, when we flip the ignition on, the voltage readout from that will change to 12 point something on the display screen, knowing that this is an ignition switched live fuse and will go on and off with the ignition. So in other words, your camera will switch off when the ignition key is taken out if you use this fuse as a power supply. So now we know which fuse we're going to use. Like I say, it's a non-essential one anyway. It is a rear heater accessory fuse. Don't use something important like an airbag fuse, you might trip a warning light. Don't use anything like a differential fuse or anything like that. Always go for an accessory circuit such as power socket, cigarette lighter, rear heaters, etc. Moving on from the fuse, we're now going to start laying the cable. Start by looking at this little panel here. Now if you've ever done an Audi or a Volkswagen, these vehicles are very similar, there's not a lot in it. This little panel pops out. You can normally pop it out just using your hand, or you might need a trim removal tool. But just don't pop it. You normally get your fingers in and there you go, it's just on a clip. And another clip there, look, it just pops in there and there. Put that safely to one side because you're going to need to run your cable in down here. Now you're also going to need access to behind this seal. There we go, shut the door a bit so you can actually hear what I'm saying easy. It's a very noisy environment unfortunately. Right, basically you're just going to get behind here and also run it all the way along the top of the headline in here. It is quite flexy, look, you can pull it down not too far, only a centimetre, otherwise you'll crack it. You don't want to do that, it's got to look neat and tidy when you've finished. So we'll go on to our power cable now. Right, your power cable, this is a little thing that I do, and it's a nice tip to keep the power cable up top so it doesn't fall down when you hit a pothole. Get yourself 3 or 4 cable ties, wrap them around the cable so they slide up and down, snip the end off obviously, and then wrap the cable tie in tape so any sharp edges aren't poking into your headlining, okay? It's just to help suspend it above the headlining so that, like I say, it doesn't shake loose and drop down in the middle of your window screen. This is the filter that I showed you earlier on when it was closed. We've opened it up, it's just on 2 little catches, look. And quite literally all you do is place it on, you know, your cable on top of it like so and wrap it round like so. So it literally goes through the centre, hoops round, comes out the other side. Now you want it as near as possible to the power plug to stop the interference. Like I say, they are a little bugger. If you don't put these on, your DAB radio reception could be impaired badly. Doesn't normally bother FM or AM, but most of these vehicles are fitted with DAB, so make sure you pop that on. It's not heavy, you can just suspend it from the top. Right, now you're going to get your power cable that you've put your little clips on there just to help support it, and take it to the top of the window screen. Just like so. So get your middle one, your middle little support you've made, pop it into the middle there, and then again also pop the next one along. Just go all the way along, popping them in until your cable's nice and short and hanging near your mirror. There we go, like so. So in other words, it's all hidden away neatly, you've got no kinks and bends in your headlining, and your cable's coming out here ready to drop behind this section. There we go, so you can just pop it out, get your little plastic tool in there and lever it out. Just be aware there's a small plastic white clip there, I don't know if you can see it, it hooks round the headlining. Just be aware, you know, you don't go like a bull in a china shop, take your time with it, it is rather delicate. And what you're aiming for is to not see any cable, so it's all tucked down an inch below this and then up in the corner here as well. Run your cable all the way down the edge, like I say, you can pull on it, look, and put your fingers in it, run it to the bottom. And there we go. What you're looking for is a factory fit finish. Basically it's got to look identical to when you pulled it all apart. So, you know, tuck the cable under so it sits nicely, clip backs together properly and is even all the way down. You don't want it looking, you know, rough sort of thing. If you push it well enough under, it will all sit nice and smooth. By which time you've got down to this area, and we're going to be using this bolt here as an earth, like so. Right, so the earth cable comes with a spade connector on the end. Now, in my opinion, these things are flimsy, tend to snap or fall out from wherever you're going to mount them to. I've been doing this for over 25 years, car audio installations and electronics, so, you know, I've sort of seen these things fail. So snip it off, get yourself a decent ring connector, like so, 2 washers and a nut. And what we're going to do basically is assemble that onto this point here. Okay, so your finished article will look like this. You basically put washer, ring terminal, washer, locking nut on the end, and that is your earth, okay? So it's dropping out down here, look, nice and neatly, out of the way. Get my camera to focus properly, which it's not doing at the minute, there we go. So you've got a solid earth there, it's never going to fall off or anything. You can now go to your power cable side of things. Get the little fuse spur that comes with the kit, plug it together on its bayonet and electrical tape over it just to seal it all up. Like so. Now then, with the ignition off, and it is imperative the ignition is off, and we've done another final voltage check on this fuse, we can go ahead and pull the fuse out of the socket because we know it's currently dead with the ignition off. Remember where the fuse comes from, you don't want to be trying to remember where it came from, yeah? And plug this fuse into your doubler, your fuse spur, like so. So it's doubled up. You can then get your fuse spur and basically plug it back into where the fuse came from, okay? Now whichever way it'll go neatly, you know, you need it all nice and neat. Sometimes you have to fiddle around a bit to get them to sit, but that one will go that way nice enough. There we go, that's plugged in, and that will now supply power to your camera, okay? We're going to tidy all this loose cabling up, gather it all together, tape it all up, I'll show you that. And there we go. So it's all pushed home and we've cable tied it and taped it to the rear of the structure there. You can now go ahead and test your camera before putting the panel back on again. So in your camera box, most cameras this is, you'll have a normal suction cup mount, which is fine for glass windows that are perfectly smooth where the black area is. This is perfectly smooth as glass in fact, excuse the pun there. If it's bobbly, if it's textured, you won't be using that one. You'll use the auxiliary mount that comes with it, which is a sticky pad mount. It's got a 3M sticky pad on it there. Use that one instead. This particular vehicle, it has got the smooth glass, so we will just be using the normal mount that comes with it. Now, be aware that the cameras have battery, battery backup, if you like, built in. It takes a good couple of hours of driving to actually charge that up for it to work. So when you first use it, it's not going to remember your date and time, okay? It's got to have some battery life in it. If, on the other hand, like this one, it's GPS based, a lot or not, the GPS will set your date and time for you. You don't have to worry about that. So if you've got one that isn't GPS based, you're going to need to drive around for a couple of hours before the battery's got enough power in it to remember the settings that you put in for your time and date. So I can go ahead and put the camera on the windscreen and test it now. So there we go. Camera stuck to the window screen. Power cable shoved into the side of it. Obviously you'll set your angle up and stuff. Don't forget to put your memory card in. You may need to format it when you do. And go ahead and put your ignition on and see if the thing powers up. And yes, it does. That's powered up fine. We can go ahead and set it all up. English language there. Sorry about the camera focus. It is struggling today for some reason. Might be the overcast conditions we've got or something. I don't know. There we go. So United Kingdom. And we want miles per hour, etc. Now what I'm trying to show you here is the little battery symbol in the corner here. You notice it's got a lightning strike through it, a power symbol, like a red lightning strike. Depending on camera model and make, obviously that could change, but that shows it's charging. If you take the key out, it should go off. There we go. Gone off. You've just got a little bit of battery showing this camera's been used before, you see. So that shows you that the ignition off, camera is off, and camera will power down as so. If you've got to that stage, you are now ready to clip your side panel back on. It's just a reversal of how you pulled it off. So little thin side strip first, and then large end panel for your fuse box. Just give it a tap and it will pop straight back on. And that is it. Give yourself a pat on the back. You have managed to fit your own dashboard camera into your vehicle with an ignition power supply. If you have any questions regarding this vehicle or any other, please pop them in the comments below. I will try and answer you the same working day. And thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.